Alright, this is one of the feed shafts. If you look close at the black wheel in the middle, you see that little dimple on there. That's not supposed to be there. That's from the stripper wheel and takeaway wheel resting on it. And there's also a rut. You can see a groove in this thing where they've kind of worn through. But what you do here is you stick your hook in and you pull back this, then you go over here and you do the same thing, pull that back, and those there you just kind of tilt at an angle. And they just come right out of there. This one here even just fell out from just doing what I did. And then this feed shaft, let me show you on this one. You'll see on the left hand side it has this notch here. The other side it doesn't. So what I like to do is I'll turn the feed shaft so that notch is facing downward, and then you have to watch out for these here. These are sensors, so when you take the feed shaft out, make sure that you don't break those or knock them out. But this here is spring loaded, so you push it to the right, lift it up a little while you're still putting pressure to the right, and then the feed shaft just comes out. And then putting it back in, there's a hole. I don't know if I'm getting it on the video, but anyway, there's a bearing over here. And you just stick the end of it inside the hole in that bearing. Make sure that you have your notch down. So now my notch is down, then put your pressure to the right so it'll slide in there, and just set it over the notch and kind of rotate it till it falls in. Then in these feed wheel kits, there's a little packet, and the packet has got, it's got a small thin wheel, it's got a thicker wheel, and then it has a fender. So let me see if I can set this phone somewhere, and I'll show you how to change those real quick. Well, first of all, this is the skinny one. That's on the right. The little rubber end of it here just pops right off. So then you take the new one out of the little bag and you just pop it on. You'll feel it click, and it should be flush. Then as far as this other one goes, sometimes this can be a little hard to get off, but just give it a good tug. But then as far as installing it, you take the thick wheel and you're going to stick it in this fender like this. And what I like to do, you can see there's kind of like a long slot in the top of the wheel. Line that slot up with this straight edge here, and then you just take this here would be pulled off. You just take that and you'll see that has it's got kind of a notch in it, and you line it up so that the shapes match up, and then just kind of tap it down until it's flush with until the metal rod is flush with the rubber wheel, and then you can stick it back in. This one here you can see is the rubber looks a little white and stuff. Normally I wouldn't put that back in, but I don't have any replacements right now. I'm short a fender, so I'm going to use it. So there's a little hole on top and a long slot on the bottom. That's how easy it goes in right there. And see that this fender, let me see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. No, it's not going to let me zoom in. But anyway, it should be almost like a slide that you'd slide down on the playground, the edge of the fender pointing down, but then you just snap it in with your finger. Then we've got this one right here. And look at the other ones too that you haven't taken out yet. Don't take them all out at once, just do them one at a time. And it makes it quite a bit easier that way. So you can see that the long portion of the bracket here is on the bottom and the skinny part's on top. The one that goes in the right hand side is the same. They're both the same, so you'd have to make sure you don't confuse the right with the left. Both ends are the same on this one, so you just stick it in, pop it in, and that's all there is to it.